Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm your host, Brian, joined with your other host,
Karen.
And Karen, what is this topic all about?
We're going to talk about the Riviera, part of our venue subgenre,
Sub-series thing.
of a series.
I do like calling our sub-series sub-genres because there's so many different sub-genres of metal and whatnot.
Right. So we should call them subgenres of our sub-series.
Yeah, so our sub-genre of this series is going to be venues. And we're talking about Riviera, as you said.
Yes.
We've done two of these already. Once for the Salt Shed Fairgrounds, when I went there and explaining it to you, and then once for Aragon Ballroom, which is in the same area as Riviera, up there in Uptown, is it?
Uptown, yeah, the Uptown neighborhood.
Right off the red line as well. I can't remember what stop that was.
Yeah, so we get off Wilson right now. I believe Lawrence is under construction, and then Argyle's just a little bit further up.
Which is also very walkable.
It is
like
walkable,
all of those are really walkable from this.
Yeah. But if it is Lawrence, that stop is like you get off on the street that the Riviera is on.
Yeah.
So. But Wilson's like, what, 3 blocks away?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
This is another really old, sort of rundownish looking venue.
More of the rundown ones, I think, than
I don't know. I like the feel
in
to
the
it. It's got a really good feel to it. Very old building. There's another theater up there, Uptown Theater, I think it's called.
I think it's called Uptown Theater, and we've never been into it.
It's very dilapidated. It's closed. Yeah, I don't know. I wish somebody would buy that. And
I always joke that if we had millions
we won the
of
lottery,
dollars,
I'd buy that.
We don't play the lottery, but if we won the lottery,
right,
we would.
Some distant relative somehow is a billionaire and they died and left us their fortune.
You have like an uncle in England, right? That's gonna die soon.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about that.
I'm just joking, like with those scam things that are like,
is that what it is? I've never heard that.
Somebody in England or someone somewhere like died and left you all this money. Now give me your information.
Yeah, I've never heard that. In any case, back to the theater itself. This is one that you can get physical tickets at will call.
Right. There is a very little teeny tiny ticket booth inside the door, and a very skinny person has to sit in there because it's so tall.
And
small.
They go through the little binder of books or names and find yours, hand you your tickets, and you go in.
I was going to say, like, the Riviera compared to last episode, not last week's, but of the Argonne, the Riviera has one of those old marquees with like lights all over it and everything, kind of like from.
I'm trying to think. The Aragon has some sort of marquee.
It is, but
it's
I think it's electronic.
Is it? I don't know. The Aragon sign itself isn't. That's a very old sign, but I don't know about the marquee. This definitely is the old marquee that you'd see in like theaters and movie theaters and whatnot. It is really cool. The aesthetics of it. The box office area that you go into, that little area, is really cool as well. And then you go in, and there's staircases on your left or right to go up, as well as behind that staircases to go down to the bathrooms, which our last visit there were recently renovated, which was really, really cool.
Yep. Like the women's had been in progress for a couple years.
So had the men's,
But now they look really nice, and like you can go in one door and out the other, and I don't know, it's very nice.
It's
I think
a lot better than it was because it was definitely a very dilapidated bathroom, and it looks modern-ish now.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than the staircases going up and down to the bathrooms, there are this like long hallway that is a couple bars, I think. At least one. I think
there's
two.
at least one bar.
I do think there are two, though.
Are there? Okay.
But this is also where the merch will be found as well.
Yeah, before you go. And then on the other side is like double doors all the way down that you can walk into the venue. Yeah,
as you're walking toward the end to your right, there's going to be those double doors you're talking about, which again takes you to the end of the venue, or you're staring out at the front of the venue.
Yes.
And this venue is set up where you have sort of 3 levels. Your main level that you walk into, there's a bar at the front of houses there. Then another section where you step down into this another section that's just a little lower, divided by these railings. And then another section down that takes you to as close to the stage as you can get. There are sort of ADA ramps, I would assume they are there for.
Yeah. Oh.
That go from the top all the way down to that front area, where there are, again, a couple more bars down there. Along the stage, on stage left and right, there are sort of box seats that go all the way up.
Yep.
Because if you turn around and look from the stage upwards, there is this balcony, those stairs that we talked about up front, that you can walk up, take you up to this like 3-tiered balcony or 2-tiered balcony.
Yeah.
Which we've seen a few shows from both up there as well, the floor.
Right, yeah. And like even from the stairs, like when you come in the doorway, if you go up 2 flights of stairs, I think you can get all the way up to the top of the balcony and then you kind of walk down. Or is it 3 flights of stairs?
I can't remember. There's definitely a few flights. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So you could be like at the top, and then there's these small double doors that then you can walk down into the balcony as well.
Yeah. But again, a really cool venue. I've been to other venues that have this same vibe. The Vic here in Chicago is one of them.
Yes.
So I think the company that owns this owns the Vic as well.
Possibly. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because yes. They own Park West, the Vic, and Riviera here in Chicago.
And I think there's some in like Grand Rapids or something.
Yeah, they have other ones as well. Yeah. I
Which
think
is
they
really
own
weird.
11 venues, if I remember right from their website. So.
Really weird that they're here in Michigan as well, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe there's a connection.
There's not that far.
In any case, really cool venue. I think the sound is great, and as I said, like it gives off those other vibes, especially that 3-tiered sort of. You walk in, you're at this one level, then you take a couple steps down, you're at this other level, and then another step down, you're in the main floor closest to the stage.
Yeah.
All again divided by a couple steps and some railing.
Yeah. The only thing I have to say about the 3 tiers area, and it's here and at the Vic, which we'll probably do a whole episode on the Vic, but the stage is kind of lower on that 3rd tier down. So like if you're in I'm going to call it the pit, but if you're in that little area close to the stage, everything normally, like you can see everything like that.
It's a normal vibe.
Yes. But if you're on the 2nd or 3rd step up, like if you're near the front of that, you can generally see. Or like when we went to see Powerwolf, we were kind of by the stairs and then you could see. But otherwise, like if you're in the back, because I think at the end of Powerwolf, we went to the restrooms and then we kind of went and just like stood back there in that back area. I couldn't see one goddamn thing from that stage at all. Not even if I like tried to move my head or whatever, like I just couldn't see anything.
Well, it also doesn't help because of the balcony, because that, especially that 3rd tier, the balcony cuts off your view of a lot of things, right? Yeah. On the 2nd tier, maybe not so much.
But even on the 2nd tier, I can't remember. Was it Behemoth and Arch Enemy that we saw there?
That would have been Amon Amarth and Arch Enemy.
Okay, so it's those two. At that show, like I remember we were in the 2nd tier area.
Okay.
And I couldn't see.
I mean, you are smaller, so like there's tall people in front of you. That's going to be a problem. Yeah. I have no problem saying, honestly. Okay. Outside of that, being in the back at the top, that 3rd stage or 3rd level we were talking about, with that balcony definitely cuts off some of the top part of
So you think that's our problem from the Powerwolf show?
I think so, because especially the few photos I took, it cuts off the top of like their presentation, their screens that they have, so you only see like the drum kit and nothing above that.
Okay. Well, if you are
shorter.
I'm not that short though. I'm 5'7", so I'm not that short, but I'm shorter than you.
Yeah. Anyway.
I would say that it would be better to be in the balcony or on the 1st layer of the floor.
The balcony's not all that bad either.
By the railing of the 2nd or 3rd tiers.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the balcony's not all that bad anyway. Those box seats we were talking about, I think you have to pay for those. Like those are additional upgrades, a VIP package type thing. But in the balcony itself, generally, outside of Powerwolf, it was all reserved seating. We snuck in and grabbed a couple seats that were open. But when you get up to that main balcony area, you sort of walk up and it's divided left and right. And the right, you start going down toward the stage, like downwards, and the right, you go sort of more upwards, more stairs. So it's just sort of a walkway between those two sections. Yeah. And that downward section, typically in the past, just like at the Vic and other venues we've been to, that sort of reserved seating. You could buy those balconies so you get closest to the railing to see closest and whatnot, right? The ones above that are typically GA, so wherever you can sit. Again, Powerwolf was different. It was all assigned seating, but we found a few. But typically that upper section is more GA seating.
Yeah, so for the shows that we've been to anyways.
Right.
I don't know about other genres or other types of shows.
True, yeah.
And I think like if you go there to see like a comedy show or whatever, it's all reserved up there.
And it might be on the ground too. They might put seats, like actual folding chairs.
I mean, we've never done one of those events, but yeah, that's true.
In any case, I do like this venue a lot. It's got that old school rundown sort of feel because it is so old, probably built in like the 20s.
1917.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. And it's French Renaissance, which makes sense from that painting. Like if you're in the third tier,
yeah.
There's like if you look up at the ceiling, it's very run down, but there's like a painting.
There's kind of like ovally thing that you can look through. And when you walk up those stairs outside in like the mezzanine area or whatnot, and you're walking up to the balcony seating, Can you walk around? I thought you could walk around that.
Yeah,
at least that third tier and like look down.
Yeah, I've seen people. There's like little cutout holes for like windows or whatever right there.
And I thought we've done that.
I don't think you can see the stage from
and I thought we did when we saw Amon Amarth. I kind of remember standing up there and watching Amon Amarth from one of those windows.
I don't have that memory, but we could have.
For some reason, that's very vivid in my head, but I can't remember 100%.
Yeah.
In any case, I love the aesthetics of this building.
I like the venue itself. I like most of it. It's that third, like the tier thing that I need to be on the floor, like closest to the stage, or up in the balcony.
If it's a packed house, you can't get to the floor necessarily. Like for Powerwolf, we were told, no, you're not allowed to go down here because it's too full. And that was the first time I ever had a security person tell me, you can't work your way, like fight to the front of the stage. Typically, it's like, if you want to go fight people, go ahead and fight people.
Yeah.
And
not like, we normally don't.
Not like
fisticuffs,
but like
it's more like squeeze in.
I'm going to squeeze in and find a hole for me to fit in and whatnot, right? So, yeah, it pays to get there early for sure for some shows. Some shows we've been to and there's been nobody
there have
early
been.
on.
I was going to say it does pay to get early because even if you want to be on that, I think the second tier by the rail would be the perfect spot if you don't want to be down in the crowd.
Yeah, and you're like right there. You're looking straight at like eye level with the band and everything. You're at the stage level and everything.
Yeah,
so
I think that would be the perfect spot, which we've never had.
We've been there early enough to get it, but we've chose to be on that first tier.
Yeah.
That second tier we haven't tried. That might actually be a good thing to try sometime as well.
Yeah. Just try to stand in different spots.
Yeah.
But then pretty much if we leave to go to the restroom or get a beer or anything,
you're basically not doing that. You're like, all right, I'm not leaving. We've never done
for the second tier.
Yeah. We've never done the balconies either. It might be fun to try it one time.
Ones?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the boxes.
Yeah.
Same with other theaters, like the Vic has those as well. It might be fun just to try it, but I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe prioritize that in the next year or so. Just
think about it.
Just to do it.
Yeah. In any case, this was another cool venue that we like going to. Really enjoy this venue a lot. It's sort of privately owned by a corporation, not a corporation, but like an independent group.
Yeah. It's called Jam Productions or something.
Oh, is it?
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not nearly as horrible as Live Nation, but still a really cool venue and a really cool spot in Chicago. So if you're in town checking out music, check out this venue. There might be something for you there.
Yep. Bye.